Here's a good question.
Why is the Sabbath even important? I think that's the initial conversation. Why is this a theme that we need to pay attention to? Because I have heard Christians that just kind of toss aside the Sabbath concept, and so
I was thinking about that very thing the other day when I was driving in the car. Listen. I am imagining, as I think about a lot of Christians that I know, good people, and how they treat people and so on, but they may be asking, why do you bring up about the Sabbath? I mean, Christians don't think that's very important, obviously, because they don't keep the Sabbath. They observe Sunday, and when they observe Sunday, they don't do it so very religiously as Jews keep the Sabbath, or maybe even as Seventh-day Adventists keep the Sabbath. So why is it so important to you? The Christian church forgot that a long time ago. And I go back to the Old Testament, and God prefaced the Sabbath with that word, remember. I guess he knew that we were going to forget. Mike begins with Genesis chapter 2, and he points to some of the language, but he stops short in verse 2 and doesn't go to verse 3. I'd like you to take a look at what he says.
Most of my texts are going to be in the NRSV updated edition. But you'll notice here on the sixth day, God rested the work that he had done, finished the work he had done. He rested on the seventh day from all the work that he had done. So God blessed the seventh day and hallowed it, because on it, God rested from all the work that he had done in creation. Now, very clearly here in the creation pattern, God rests, he blesses, he hallows the seventh day. Now, I want you to note something in this, okay? A couple of things. First of all, so the concept of rest is in these two verses, but Sabbath is not, okay? Now, what do I mean by that? Here is, he rested. This is yisbat.
Okay, notice what he's marking here, yisbat. This is yod, shin, bet, tau. If you just saw this as a Hebrew reader that without the pointed text, Shabbat, you would know that it's the root Shabbat. Yeah, so it's a form of Shabbat. It's a verb that means rest. Shabbat, to cease or to rest. But if he were to go just a little bit further down into verse 3, where it says God rested, that word is Shabbat. Now, it's not a double B, because that's what's used in the noun, but if you rest, it is a rest. If you Shabbat, it's a Shabbat. It's kind of a technical point to try to say that Shabbat is not here, particularly when we go to Exodus chapter 20, and it says that Shabbat, that's where Shabbat comes from, God's rest.
Okay, this is the concept of ceasing from your work, okay? And notice that what we have here is who is ceasing from work. And this is a really important cycle. This is called a creation pattern.
Answering the question of whether the Sabbath was eternal before the creation, our friend Mike Colburn points out from Scripture, from the words of Christ, that it was made. But he overlooks something in the passage. I'm processing it. It's made for humankind. Does that not answer his initial question? It's because God made it for humankind. Think about that.